So, today we're going to figure out how to subtract 164 from 429. So we're trying to take this number away from this number. So to start off, I think it'd be easier to separate them by their place values, which is the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. So let's start off with 429. We have 400, 20, and 9. Now let's go on to 164. We have 100, and then we have 60, and then we have 4. So, we're trying to take away the bottom numbers from the top. Let's use these squares. So, we have 164. This big square is worth 100. So this would be our 100. And then we have 60, and each column is 10 little squares. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So all of this is 160. And now we have 4, which is 1 little square, 2 little squares, 3 little squares, 4 little squares. So this is 164. So now we have that. We're trying to figure out how much it'll take to get to 429. So let's see that. How much would it take to fill up this whole square? Or this whole column? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6. And that gets us to, we were at 164, now we're at 170. And we added 6. Now, how many columns does it take to fill up this whole square to get 200? Let's count. Be 10, 20, 30. 10, 20, 30. So this would be 30. And it would make a total of 100, 200. So now let's see how much more we could go to get 400. Since these are 100s and we're already at 200, we could get 300 and 400. And remember, each of these are 100. So, now we have 400, and we're trying to get 429. How much more do we need to get to 429? Well, we could add 20 more since we have 20 in that place value. So here's 10, 20. So this would be 20. And now we just need 9 more, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. all of this. So now we're at 429. But how much did it take to get to 429? We could count the big squares, the columns, and the little squares that it took to get to over here. So let's start with the big squares, since each of them are 100. So there's 100, and then there's 200. So we have 200 there. Now we could do the columns since they're tens. And we know we have 20 here. And we also added 30 over here. So how many is that together? Let's see. There's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So we have 50 tens, 5 tens. And now we just have the ones left, which is the rest that we had to fill up in order to get this to 10 and get this to 9. So let's count the little boxes. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that was 15. Now, we want to add all of these together. Let's start with these two numbers. 50 plus 15. So, we could do 50 plus 10 is 60, right? And then plus 5, that would be 65. And now we still need to add on the 200. So together, it would be 265. And that's the number that it took to get from 164 to 429. Okay, today we're going to try and figure out some strategies in which we could use 429 minus 164. So, in order to understand this, we could separate each by the place values, which is the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. And that's represented with these. This is the hundreds, that's why we have 100, 200, 300, 400. And then these represent tens, 10 pieces of 10, which is 10, 20, that's this number right here, and then the nines, which is the ones value, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's write that out, how that would look. 400, 1, 2, 3, 4, 400, and then 10, 20, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now let's do the same with 164. Start with the first one, which is the hundreds place, which is 100, and then go on to the tenths, which is 60, and then the ones, which is 4. So now we want to subtract 164 from 429. Let's start with the hundreds place. We have 400, 100, 200, 300, 400, and we want to take 100 away. So let's count what's left. 100, 200, 300. So now we could go on to the tens place. Oh wait though, we're trying to subtract 60 from 20. Since we don't have a higher number than 60, we could take some from the hundreds place, since we have more. So, in the hundreds, 10 pieces of 10 make up 100. So, let's count that. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And we could replace the tens for the hundred. So we have 100, 200, 300, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. So we have 120. And we want to take 60 away. So here's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Now how many do we have left? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. We have 60 left. And remember, since we took away from the 300 that were here, this will turn into 200, 100, 200, and 60. So now we're going to go on to the ones place. And we want to take away 4 from 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. And count how many are left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we want to count all the pieces that are left over. So it's 200, 60, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is what we're left with. So right now we are trying to find how much 6 divided by 1/2 is. So I know that 1/2 is equal to 5 out of 10, like in a circle. When you have one hole, you have 10 pieces in a whole circle. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 pieces in total. And 1/2 would be the same as 5 out of those 10 pieces. So, if I know that I have 5 out of 10, and I know that 6 is equal to 60 out of 10. How much do I need to get from 5 out of 10 to 60 out of 10? So, since I have 5 out of 10, I could just keep on adding to see how many it takes to get to 60. So, there's 5 out of 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So all of these would make 60. But let's count how many there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 with the one that we started off with. So that means that 12 5/10 equals 6. So 12 would be our answer in 6 divided by 1/2. Because remember, 1/2 also equals 5/10. So, today we're trying to figure out how to divide 6 by 1/2. So, to better understand this, we could put it into a word problem. Let's see. So, if Angie has a dog and the dog eats 1/2 of the bag of food every day, there are 6 bags of dog food. So there's 6 bags of dog food. How many days does it take for the dog to finish the food? So we know we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags of dog food. And the dog eats half of it every day. So let's cut all of these in half. And we could count how many it takes to finish all of this, which is 1. This is 1 day. This is 2 days. This is 3 days. 4 days. 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, 10 days, 11 days, and 12 days. And that's when the dog is done eating the food. So it looks like it took 12 days to eat it. And that looks like it's our answer. So, Carl's rectangle vegetable garden is 20 feet by 35 feet. And McKenna's vegetable garden is 25 feet by 30 feet. So, whose garden is larger in area? To figure this out, we could find the area for each one and see which one's bigger. So, to find the area, we could find 20 times 35, which is length times width. So it would be 20 times 35. So it would be 5 times 0, that equals 0. 5 times 20, that makes 100. Now, 30 times 0, that equals 0. But 30 times 20 equals 600. And so altogether, that makes 700. Now, let's find the area for this, which is 25 times 30. So, 0 times 5, that's 0. And 0 times 20 Well, that's 0 too. Now let's go on to the next one. 30 times 5, that is 150. And 30 times 20, that's 600. So altogether, it would be 750. So now that we have both areas, 750 and 700, we could see that McKenna has the bigger area. Carl has a rectangle vegetable garden that is 20 feet by 35 feet. And McKenna has one that's 25 feet by 30 feet. And so we're trying to figure out which garden is bigger. And in order to do that, we're going to see these numbers in fraction forms. So since Carl's rectangle is 20 over 35, we could also simplify that so that it will be easier for us to see. We'll do that in a little bit. But we also have McKenna's, which is 25 over 30. And so let's simplify them and see which one seems bigger. So we could simplify this into 4 over 7. And that's what that turns into. And then we could simplify this, 25 over 30, into 5 over 6. So which fraction is bigger? Let's see. This will be the 4 out of 7. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one would be 5 out of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is all of the area that it has. Now let's see this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is all the area that it has. And it seems like 5 out of 6 is bigger. So that means that McKenna's garden is bigger. So right now we have 8 tables. 8 tables of hexagons. And so we're trying to figure out how many seats we have in total. So let's start with these 2 tables. So we cut it in half. We see that the top half has 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 seats. And so the bottom half has 1, 2, 3. So if this one has 3 on top and this one has 3 on bottom, this one might have the same. 3 and 3. And so if we put all of those together, have 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, what does that give us? 3, 6, 9, 12. So we have 12 seats here. And so now we know that every 2 tables we have 12 seats. So there's 12 seats. There's 12 seats. And there's 12 seats. And so we have 4 rows of 12. So now we could just put them together. And 12 plus 12, that's 24. And 12 plus 12, that's 24. Now we just need to put together 24 seats and 24 seats. So 24 plus 24 is equal to 8, 4, 48 seats. And that's the total amount of seats we have in all of these. So right now we have eight hexagon tables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tables. And in each hexagon there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 seats. And so if we have 8, that means we have 6 seats 8 times. So to figure out how many seats we have total, we could do 6 times 8. And that is 48. And that is the total amount of seats that we have.